Let's just go live. Who's live? We're live.
We're live. We already done that. Going.
We are live. Looking
Bam.
at
Bam.
my screen
Welcome
like
to
it's 2021.
I
know. And
I haven't seen you all year.
Ha ha ha. It's funny. It's funny, yes. Interestingly, this is a positive note. I don't think 2021 is going to be any better than 2020. I think it's going to be
it'd be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Now we'll have some miracle at like 6 months in. It'll be like world cure, and everyone just like gets the vaccines, and they're like, yeah, and there's like parties in the streets and like billions of people just like co-mingling their breaths, masks off. Yeah, I wouldn't go to that anyway because that doesn't sound like a good time.
Some people would love that. They'd be like, I love to party. I love to socialize.
Oh my god, I need to be around like 500,000 people and not know any of their names.
Need to get my vibes. But no. So basically, apparently, COVID is evolving. So then we don't know if the little serum vaccines are going to work. But also, Australia, because we're cool, has decided to just be like real laid back on actually getting their hands on any of the vaccines.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm basically canceling my European trip in like August because soonest we're going to be getting it is like March. So I was like,
yeah, fair. I thought it was April, the earliest projection, so that's a month ahead of what I heard. But still, I don't think it's going to be like March, everybody has everything. Boom,
and everything just opens. Yeah. It's not going to be like that at all. So I'm going to, for a change, be a little bit pessimistic.
Okay.
On this.
That's something completely different.
That's just out of character for me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, okay. Well, to take you back a notch, how was your festivities? How was your holidays? I know you said that your girlfriend wanted to get a tree and do all the presents and yada yada.
Yep.
Was that fun? Did
yep.
you get
She made
the Holy Spirit in you.
She got the Holy Spirit. Basically, we got the tree. It was just there for like props for photos. We did all of the couple photos, and then I got to take it down on like the 2nd.
Nice.
I'm just like,
we got ours for the pine smell. That's why I went and got like an authentic one. Is because every time you come into the house, it'd have that nice pine.
Oh damn! I forgot about that. Like there is that whole pine smell thing, and it's like, oh, you know what it is? It's Christmas.
It's bloody Christmas, my
Christmas.
friends. So yeah, I'll be taking our tree out tomorrow. That's the other kind of sad thing about Christmas, especially in the North Sydney area. I used to, when we worked on the trucks, do you remember how many like just dead pine trees would just get thrown out on like December to January period? Like green waste was actually like one of the funnest shifts. Usually it sucks because you have to take out like all the wet green, like, you know, loose branches, loose leaves, shit that has like thorns in it and stuff like that. But with this one, you could just pick up the tree and just toss it super fast. So that was one.
That was good, yes, but that was Christmas trees on top of everyone having time off to do their fucking gardening. So then, give me green waste in the middle of winter.
Oh, definitely. When there's minimal.
Minimal.
Like, you know. Yeah, usually we used to go into overtime like pretty much every week, but then in the middle of winter, sometimes you get away with finishing at midday on those heavy Mondays, and that would be a luxury.
Yeah.
And then also, what did you get up to for the year of the new? How did you transition
New Year's
to 21?
Check this out. I don't even remember.
Check it. Whoa, that's pretty sick.
No, I did.
Well, I mean, you probably don't want to remember 2020, so it's like
I did zero. Like all we did was look out on the balcony and the horizon of all these pissy little like fireworks going off. Like just these tiny little things, and you're like, oh, there's someone.
I feel like I might be like quite outlying in this opinion, but I don't really like fireworks. I don't have like a zest for them or like an urge to see them,
I kind
especially
of got
since
over
I've
that.
seen quite a lot of them. And maybe it's because we're spoiled. Maybe because in Sydney we have like supposedly one of the greatest firework displays of the year every year worldwide for our New Year's. So maybe I just saw too many of them. It was like,
I think everyone's seen a lot of fireworks. I
yeah,
think
just
it's cool for little kids, and after that, it's like, what the fuck? Like,
well, I know that like some of my mates like to get their own fireworks and set them off like free schlap, and they love to like play with fireworks. But I'm just like, no, I don't know. I'm not engaged by that. It doesn't appeal to me to.
yeah, I get that.
Maybe I'm weird. But yeah, so we ended up just having like with the restrictions that we could, a few people over to the rooftop part of our apartment. Just had like food and beverages, and then
Did you have a
moved
cheese
down.
platter?
Huh?
Did you have a cheese platter?
No, because it was raining, so we didn't go too fancy. And then Saturday made a bunch of brisket burgers, and that's what we went with. So it was like more like everyone can eat the meat, put it on the bread, and that way we could
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
easy feed a bunch of hungry boys. And then we just went back to Simon's place and hung out till all hours, and then went for a walk at sunrise, which was beautiful.
Oh,
It was still
New
quite rainy
Year's.
and drizzly, but it was nice to get out and just start the year with like a nice, I think we walked like 5 to 8K. Like we walked for like 2.5 hours.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good hike. Pretty good hike.
That
All
sounds
in all.
pretty damn fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new year. As you may or may not have heard audience-wise, I know you have, Jaron, but I've launched my Patreon account, and this will be the last live stream that we do on YouTube for Talking Trash. We will upload these pieces to YouTube after, but if you want to get that live interaction, you want to ask the questions and have a piece, you can head over to Patreon, and for just $3 a week, you can just have access to the live podcast, be able to interact, and also on top of that, with that tier, you're going to receive like exclusive content, like that Instagram style that but you can download it straight to your phone, so it's yours and no one else's. And yeah, I'm just trying to put some more exclusive stuff that way for you guys. So if you like the podcast and you're a regular viewer, I'd recommend tier 2, which is the goodie bag tier on Patreon, and that just gives you access to the podcast and those exclusive clips. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Which I want to say thank you to those who have already signed up to the Patreon. We got 2 head of production ones, and those guys will be credited in the YouTube videos coming up. And then we got a few goodie bag ones and a couple of official tomato patrons. So big thanks to all those people. And if you guys are listening, interested in finding out what that's about, head over to Patreon and type in Dom Tomato, and you'll find that. And we'll probably put the link in the description of this as well for those who want to channel that way over.
Yes. Yes, we will.
That's my spiel on that, and I appreciate the support. If you guys, are interested, of course, you will still be able to see the podcast. I'm not going to like just take it off YouTube like Joe Rogan.
Paywall on
only on Spotify. Get it now. Only download on Spotify. Full podcast now, free on Spotify, but not free on Spotify because I'm not Joe Rogan.
So what happened with that with Joe Rogan, by the way? Because I heard that some people were getting ads even if they had premium Spotify.
Well, so I don't know about the Spotify specific actions, but what I remember is that when they first said, hey, we're moving to Spotify, and he announced they were moving to Spotify, he was like, yeah, we're going to continue to upload the videos on YouTube. But what he didn't specify there, so he's not in the wrong, is that he was going to do that for a time. So now you can, he uploaded like maybe 3 to 10, like 5 to 10 more podcasts from when he started on Spotify to YouTube. And then one day they just stopped. And so now it's only segments on the JRE
clips
thing. Yeah. Well, he moved those clips to the main account, and it's just like 3 clips from each podcast go on the YouTube. And and then he does some big Spotify plug at the end of it, like, you want to see the whole thing, go on Spotify, free Spotify. All right, bro.
Well, it makes sense. Like,
but then I need a Spotify account.
Really?
Well, okay. So, I mean, and this is something I would actually probably bring Marks on to speak about, but Spotify doesn't pay their artists very well, and then they're paying like $100 million deals because they're like, we don't have any money, we're a streaming service, and then they pay $100 million deals. It's like, that doesn't seem like it's, why don't they just pay slightly more on the dollar, or like it's like literally like 0.02 cents per play or something that's stupid like that.
Dude, have you seen what YouTube is?
Yeah.
YouTube's like add another few zeros.
Oh, speaking of YouTube, bloody hell, taking down my King of Fails compilation. Not okay. It's all right. We appealed it. It's back online, folks. You can watch me.
Oh, did it actually get re-uploaded?
Yeah. So I just appealed it, and I just said, like, this isn't meant to shock or disgust people. It's like the work process behind being a professional athlete. There's humor in it, and there's no sustained injury. I made this video at full health and 100% health. And then, they just came back like a day and a half later, 2 days later with, it's fine. Don't worry. Sorry.
Wow.
Like, we reviewed it and it doesn't actually violate. We agree with you. So, that was really cool because I expected that to just be gone to the wind. I was like, I guess I could upload it on Vimeo and then put it on the Patreon page at like on the open Patreon page so that everyone could go to it and see it anyway.
Yeah.
But YouTube was kind and they popped it back up there. It's trucking along nicely.
Well, that's good
very
because I really liked that track. Took me a few re-records.
That was one of the heavier hits to me. I was just like, Jaron put quite a lot of work into this song and released like the song separately around, like within promo of it, and then it's just like, whoop.
Yeah, but that's what I gotta definitely do is actually release some of the stuff that I make for you instead of doing tomato files.
Like your own stuff, and that way the people can find it. You know what I mean? I think that's the next step as well. Is a lot of
we
listeners
had basically
want the tracks.
Yeah, and we had like a year of people being like, "Hey, so what about this track from this video?" Don't even remember that track.
So you've put the albums together. Am I
have
incorrect? 6
albums of tracks I've made for you together. One has been released. One drops on the 15th. I'll probably do it bi-monthly because I've got like 6 of them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or you could do a 6-month release schedule, then 6 months off, and then another 6-month release schedule. So that's something for you. No, okay, fine. Don't take my suggestions.
No, I'm just gonna make more music and just keep releasing it.
Yeah, fair. And just do a bi-monthly album.
Yeah, something like that.
So, in ways that we can share that so the viewers can get access to that, where can they get access to that first one?
So this is all released under BeatDivision, and it is on Spotify.
Hey, speaking of the devil.
Literally, you can go to any streaming service. It's there. It's on YouTube. Blah, 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 blah.
Clear this up for me. I'm pretty sure I know which one, but this will also be a good viewer question. Is it Beats with an S division, or is it Beat Division?
Beat Division.
With an S or no S?
No S. No S.
No S. Just Beat Division.
Yeah.
Because you divide the beats.
Yes.
Beat Division.
Exactly.
Just trying to make it impactful so people can cram that in their noggins.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
We gotta start.
Yeah. So there's one already out there, and then
into these shows. That would be a smart thing to do. We have a few links
the next
now.
Step. Okay. Well, if I jot down here on my pencil and paper, what links have we said so far? Patreon.
We've said Patreon, and we've said Tomato Files.
Jaron's music.
Music link.
Music. So far, so good. We're killing the game, guys. That's how we do it. Boom.
Yep.
Real official types.
From my side on the podcast as well, this means this week I need to get in my things in order, and we're gonna change the setup of the thing. What's the thing? The podcast. We're gonna change the
format of it. So
change the format of it. Have some transparent overlays that come over and be like.
Star wipes everywhere.
Star wipes, things that go. You are listening to Talking Trash.
You. Yeah, exactly. So instead of us singing the intro, we may just like have an actual like sound bite intro, like a radio station.
Could
Super
make
official.
the intro.
Dumb and jabbering in the morning, but in the evening.
I could change the waiting page to actually reflect the new logo and some music that didn't take me 5 minutes that I just put together.
I really think that if you're going to make a waiting page, you should have a really bunch of buff guys lifting weights. Just
I see what you did there.
this is the waiting
I see
page.
what you did.
You know, I think a lot of people would appreciate the pun and like the next level of commitment to the waiting page.
Yep. But you know what we may do instead?
Or a bunch of people standing on scales and like just walking in, standing on scale and walking out. Sorry, I'm getting really into this waiting page thing.
You and your goddamn puns. Sick of it.
I mean, it works, man. It
I'm
works.
sick of it.
2021, no more puns. They're gone. Cancelled.
I'm actually thinking we do some clips of yours or something like that.
Some clips of on the waiting pages. That makes a lot of sense.
So it's like something to actually fucking watch, especially when we take 5 to 10 minutes to actually get our shit together.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's something that people would appreciate. Is just having the like it's like a reel running of just some clips and some shit, so you can watch that.
Yeah, put that shit on loop.
Mm-hmm.
Be good.
If we get real fancy with it, I can make you like exclusive Patreon bangers edit once we get further down the track, and that can be what's on loop for the podcast.
That sounds good.
Ooh, we're just brainstorming ideas here.
Yeah, it's good. There's actually a pretty good question that we can go off on a tangent with, which is 2021, Dom. What are your resolutions?
I think 720p.
What, like, you're actually going to go up to 720p for once?
I mean, I've been sitting at 360p for so long, man. Maybe 720p is the resolution of the year.
Oh, dude.
Not fucking with 4K. That shit's obscene.
That's like an actual thing, though, I've realized, is you use a real camera or are actually good at cinematography, 720 can look better than 4K, hands down.
I know what you mean. If someone shot something awful in 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is really about the artistic eye and the cinematic tools that you do use. That's why I think as well, I would like to hopefully move a little bit off the GoPro and onto another camera. I have the old one that we talked about, but I just want to upgrade slightly. Just give me 1 second.
For everyone listening at home, I've been making a cube out of blue tack in my fingers, because that's what I do. A cube of blue tack.
For the visual.
Yeah.
You are outrageous, my friend.
Well, you know. So this means you haven't done that much training lately?
No, so training here has been kind of stagnated. 1 second. Front door, baby.
Doing a thing.
Like the glass front door. Yeah, just organizing a package and everything right now.
Organizing a package at night.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because it's a box of shoes coming from a friend, so it's not actually, yeah. It's not actually like official delivery hours.
Yeah, exactly.
But I need them. So, what were we saying? 2021.
Yes.
Goals,
what
resolutions.
do you resolve to do?
I just ideally I would travel, but all the things that I would resolve to do are not really within my control. I mean, I just want to keep training and keep pushing, and the Patreon, I guess, kind of monetizing my content in a way and finding another way to connect with my audience was the big kind of push for me. Also, we're just waiting on the mock-ups for the merchandise to be sent over, and then bada bing, bada boom. So that's kind of, I guess, it's to further my business endeavors as opposed to just training, but also always just amplifying my level and training as hard as I can to get better at parkour. Which brings you to that other thing you were saying before about I haven't been able to train that much over the last, say, 2 weeks due to the weather and the holidays. Just getting in different time slots and like family lunges here and there. So I didn't have as much time to kind of be out training during the day. And then also the weather in Sydney has just been awful, and it's predicted to be awful for the next month. Thunderstorms almost every day, heavy rain, everything's damp, everything's wet. It's just not that motivating to get out and train, but still doing bits and pieces and just trying to stay in shape. Did I tell you about my thumb last time we spoke, Jaron?
Your thumb.
So I look at that. It's a little bit swollen.
Oh man.
So I did a front flip and I clipped my back of my legs with my thumb like this. I kind of flicked it like that, and it felt like it clicked out for a second. And so that's been surprisingly putting me off quite a lot for training because I can't bang it into anything.
Wait. So is it just is it the top joint? Oh wait, that joint's pretty big. It's not a little one.
No, yeah, it's that top joint. Still, and then imagine the whole thumb swollen because of it. So even putting pressure on the side of the thumb or the pad of the thumb makes the joint a little bit sensitive. How'd
you do it?
I did a front flip, and as I was exiting the front flip, I don't know, super because I was prepping a front pre, and that this video will come out soon, people. But as I was prepping the front pre, I put my hands back to kind of, I don't know, super weird positioning. And I just kind of collected on the back of your knee. There's that little hard tendony part.
Yeah.
I must have just collected past that. And it just caught on it. Yeah, and it just caught on it and went click.
Because they're super highly strung tendons. Yeah. That's what they do.
And so that just, it just caught it and bent it kind of, imagine that way.
Yeah. All right. So it's your lateral ligaments that get all screwed
and there
up.
And above this thumb knuckle above there is really tender and swollen.
Nice. That's not nice at all.
It's not. But that's you'd think just a thumb wouldn't put you off so much for training, but there's so many things. So when I swing my arm around, just even doing leg movements, but jumping, play that because that's from today's training before you go anywhere. Yeah, so I was out training today with Marks. He did this big double Kong.
It's really loud.
It is. Oof.
Oh, that looks good though.
Too easy. Damn. Jesus.
Oh.
And it's complemented by a Capri.
You guys have been at that spot a few times nowadays, haven't you?
Well, it's so close to my place. It's probably about 350 meters to 400 meters away.
Yeah, right.
And it's just got a good set of walls, It's not often we have that sort of intricacy on the walls.
Can we talk about this?
I think, we probably should talk about this.
You're right.
What? Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
I went training in Penrith with the lads, and I've been to that car park about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And I did the front flip down onto the concrete, one story, and then dropped into that dirt.
Yeah.
And then when I went there, we were jumping over. So there's a couple of funny things. So we were jumping over at first, just looking over the rail, and the security guard of the car park came up and he's like, "Okay, what are you guys up to?" And they were like, "Oh, we're just doing parkour and stuff." And he goes, "Okay, I'm waving my hands as if I'm telling you to go, but I want you to continue and just do what you're doing because I think it's awesome. But this is me telling you to go, but you don't have to go."
So this was for the cameras.
Yeah, so he did and then just walked away and we didn't go anywhere.
Oh
and so
God.
then, when I jumped into that particular soil is so soft. It's the more pressure you put into it, you can get a footprint deep of impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already doing the drop into it, and everyone was doing the drop into it super cash. And then after the other front flip I did the other day, where I had to kind of do a precision landing before the roll, I was like, oh yeah, it's about the same size. So scroll down. Yeah, to the car park one there on the left. Yeah, so this one was kind of it's a similar height. And then if you see, I have to kind of land just on the other side of those bushes, because if I land too close to the bushes, I'll hit the like my feet will hit the actual
Yeah,
mounds, the
and
actual
you've
like
got this
shrubbery
like you've got this wall
corner.
actually coming up to you.
Yeah, so you can't really push too far. You got to hit the right spot on the landing and then not roll too far. And so that's why that roll was kind of splatty as well, because I was just trying to make sure I didn't like mess up the distance or anything. As you see, it kind of like just came out like distance wise, placement wise, perfect. But I did hit it like not the best roll. So
Yeah.
that one was like, I was like, okay, I've done that one. That makes a lot of sense in my head. I can front flip down that far and it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It is a big deal, but I can do it.
Yeah.
And then, so I saw the car park one. I was like, I think I can do the drop. Like, I think I can do the front all the way down. It's just these rocks. And then I checked, there's like 4 other spots around the car park that are similar, but that was the best one where the rocks had like a little bit of room for me to roll between.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the prep from halfway. I did like a front from the middle. And I didn't roll. So when I did the prep, like on the now we're talking about the rail one again, the one where I bodied it. So I did the prep from halfway as you know, as you normally would, and I didn't even roll. I like just kind of put my feet down, and then
So
as I went into
it was already messed up.
Yeah, it was already kind of soft and stuff. So it like caught me, and then I was able to just like fake roll, and I didn't actually practice rolling through the little split. So I wanted to roll where between the rock and the wall.
This one here.
Like put my shoulders in the open space where I was just pointing, and then roll my hips between that part so I came off the edge of it. But I just placed my front a little bit too far, and I could tell in the air that I was like a little bit too close to the rock, that if I committed to the roll, I was most likely to kind of roll my right hip over it. Yeah. And that's where a lot of the impact goes, like in that forcey moment, like you do kind of collect on that.
Well, that's pretty good judgment then, to just be like, I'm going to take the splat or I'm actually going to get hurt.
Yeah, so what I did is I like jammed my feet in a little bit harder, and I put my elbow, you see I catch with my hands, and I put my elbow in, and my elbow just became like an excavator. It just went like until the ground's like, you know what I mean? Until it just was the right amount of break. So I didn't take anything in the body. It was really weird. It was like, I thought, you know, from that.
Did you hit the rock at all?
Technically, yes, but I didn't think I did. Like when I did the front and I stood up, I was like, no, I didn't hit the rock. And then when you watch back, like my right side very lightly touches it. And the reason you could tell is because I put like there's like a weed growing in the pot plant thing. So I like pulled that out because, you know, can't be growing, you know, that like shitty plants, and then put it on the rock. So I didn't take out like a flower or anything, or like a plant that was meant to be there. It was not meant to be there. And I used it as like a marker because that way I could have like a green edge to so like just in my head in that moment, I was able to see the green a little bit clearer than I was able to see the rock comparatively to it. And yeah, when I hit the floor, you notice that the leaves move a little bit, but it's not enough that I like felt the rock in any way.
Well, then that's good then.
But yeah, it's a combination of soft dirt and also just like last minute decision making. So instead of like tucking in for the roll, you see I splay out and just basically catch my weight like that way. And it looks gnarly and fast, but in slow motion, you can really see where everything went. Yeah.
Oh, then that's sweet.
It's just jokes anyway. I went up to the top to do it again, and I'm like, what? Like, that was kind of worst case scenario. I don't want to go for anything that might be worst case scenario than that. So I just decided to leave it. And I also did, before I did it, I did the turn vault drop just from the top, like turn vault drop all the way into the box without a roll. That's how I knew I could kind of take the impact because it was so soft.
Yeah.
And then so I didn't film that on my phone. So after I was like, I'll just film this quickly on my phone as well. I'll just do the drop one more time. And as I did the hang drop, I landed and my like left knee went out slightly. And I just like kind of wobbled a little bit on the landing. It was so uncomfortable. It was like way worse than the front flip fail. Like, like my left ankle got a bit stiff and I had to like do some like rehab before I went jump. Like I just went to the next spot and ended up doing some swings and stuff like that. But it's so funny how that front flip did nothing like whatsoever. And then the drop almost hurt me more.
That's super strange. But oh well, You're in one piece now, laddie.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't like I literally had 0 fall damage from that, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Uh,
Oh, question. About
Question.
your merch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you released that? Are you waiting until you get your merch first and then you're
So we're
gonna
gonna
put
get
it?
the mock-ups just to make sure everything's good, and then I think we're gonna go into pre-sale from there while the others are being made and so on and so forth. But yeah,
No, that would be
but
sick.
I think just the next step is receiving them, trying them on, and also shooting some product stuff so that people can see what they look like on bodies and stuff like that.
You're gonna make a sexy advertisement? Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. Like just close up extreme jawline, and
Yeah.
then close up like extreme seam. You know what I mean? Seam of shirt,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's the whole video.
Do it. Now the only problem there is cameras. Oh no! You should do it. Use your GoPro Max and do it in 3D.
That's
Everyone
a
loves that.
Oh yeah, everyone's a huge fan of the warp view. We found that out 2020 for sure. Voted worst way to film parkour 2020.
Oh wow, that was really like a 1 year thing.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even a 1 year thing. It was like a 3 month thing. Like a few people did it, and then everyone was like, "Yeah, I didn't like it," and then everyone stopped doing it. Also, for me, the reason I just didn't catch on to it personally was the work process behind it. If I'm going to shoot a 360 video and then individually edit every single clip and then individually export every single clip, and mostly do that on the phone because it's easier to do like the glide cam follow style.
Yeah.
But yeah, bleh, bleh. Too much effort, man.
Well, you didn't actually do it though, did you? You just got Kadori to do it.
With the 360 video I made, I did most of the 360 clips just because they were on my phone and GoPro. So,
Oh right.
usually if we're out on the fly, I used to get Kadori to do it. Just because, yeah, he also, he's a gamer. He likes that gaming style of things. Like, woo-hoo.
Yeah. Well, what do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think 2021 has in store for the world of parkour, free running, and anything else?
Mate, I would like to say I have any idea, but I just don't. I mean, I know that I think one of the coolest things that's come out is also the Tempest Online competitions and how that's become like a regular facet. And I think that will still remain a regular staple of like the free running community throughout 2021, even if we do go back into jams and competitions. I think that thing has like online competitions have kind of become more regular and more accepted, and also just I think a way for the community to stay connected. Which leads me to say I'm happy to announce, if you saw my story earlier, I'll be judging the 2020 championship tournament. So all the winners from their 2020 clips will be voted and blah 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 blah, and then myself and 3 other judges will help judge and pick the winner.
Is
I
it
believe.
from those clips,
So it's
or
from
they get to resubmit a new one?
that's something I think it's just the ones it's like the best of the best clips. So the
Oh, man.
grand royale winner. So imagine all the monthly winners and those clips go up against each other. I believe.
So now we can't even go back to the Tempest thing to look at them because that's a.
They should release it. They'll release. If you keep an eye on their stories,
No,
you'll see
I'm
the
saying
matchups.
like you can't comment on that stuff anymore because that would be conflicting interests.
I guess in a way, yeah, it's probably better to hold off opinions, and then if people after, I could do like a review and say what I liked and certain things of why people got more points or got voted a certain way and that sort of thing. But that's never really been my field of expertise.
So I'm wondering then 2021, will any competitions go ahead in the naked?
It would be cool to see Red Blood of Motion pop up again.
Yeah, that's true. But
It's
where?
probably one of the most likely out of the bigger competitions, just because if that side of the world opens up, then usually have like the financial backing and the facilities and the people on board to kind of make that all happen a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
A lot of the other events, especially like in-house gym parkour run events, take a lot more groundwork and a lot more planning because they don't already have the structure there.
Yeah.
Really
And-
hope for the Love and Movement will be back and running. It's the first in 5 years. I think it hasn't been able to hold a winter event.
True. Well, hopefully for summer, because summer is way nicer.
Yeah, it's always going to depend on size of event, accessibility of country as well, and where they're at with their kind of things. And then also just, you know, I think people are going to be hesitant at first to go to those sort of, maybe not so much parkour people, but, you know, generally speaking, people will be more hesitant to go to gatherings and pile up, you know, amount of folks going to events.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pitch to people. If you want to ask questions, do it now, because we'll answer them soonish.
Got some good questions piling up, so
Should we just get into them, because then we can tangent off?
Yes, but here's the tangent before the tangents. For the Love of Movement, I guess it was 2017. I don't remember, but I was there, you were there, and I remember that someone got so mad at you because you went back to the food thing and they didn't have any like bread rolls or something like that, or they didn't have the cutlery, so you just folded a plate and just put it in the food and then just walked away eating out of the plate.
I mean, that's efficient, right? I thought I was being economically safe and effective, but apparently that was rude.
No, I remember they were just like, damn dumb, what's he doing?
Well, maybe, I don't know if this is the thing. I can't ever tell if they're like legitimate or comical reactions. If I've like gone too far and people are like, what the fuck? Or they're like, what the fuck, dumb? You know, like performing the reaction, which is what I'm mostly looking for, is just like visceral reactions that have no depth.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, if I'm sitting around with Mark, so I'll like poke him in the calf when he's not looking, and then he'd be like, like, ha ha, I made you react. Like, I don't even poke him very hard. I just to get a jump, get a startle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of wired like that. React.
Well, isn't that the funnest? All right.
I believe so. Acting is just reacting, Jaron, and aren't we all actors in a way?
I'm an actor. I'm an artiste.
You're Chris Hemsworth. You act Thor. That's so cool, bro.
No, I am an artiste.
I act Iron Man. Questions.
No questions. Where did the questions live?
Oh, croissants.
All right. Well, the first one was about the thing, but and then it goes, where's Joe?
Where? Oh, dude, he's in England, and there's no way that he's gonna wake up before, like, while this podcast is happening, because that's way before his waking up time.
Isn't it like 11 a.m.?
Yes, that's what I said. It's way before his waking up time on a Monday morning.
Oh, it's a Monday morning, right.
It's a Sunday night, probably was out with the boys, singing a few pints at the pub, you know what I mean? Ha ha ha. But then, yeah. If he was awake, it would be for something that he was like getting paid to do, like work or something, and then he would actually, you know, be there, but 20 minutes late.
Yes. Makes sense.
I mean, that summarizes where he is.
No, that's kind of what we expected he was going to do. Anyway, it was just turn up late, but then kind of didn't turn up instead.
Better never than late, you know.
Yeah, obviously. Question that I already answered in the thing anyway. Can Dom even see the chat? And no, you can't, because you have one screen. I have 3 screens circling me, and I get distracted easily anyway. No, but so basically I run the whole podcast from my studio, so I have all the bit rates and the audio flim flams and get things in the streaming software. And so I also see the chat, which is good because some people spam the fuck out of this. And they're like,
And
Dom,
also,
I'm your
like,
biggest fan.
I'm not very good at keeping attention. I haven't got a huge attention span. So if I had the chat going on the side, I probably couldn't just keep talking and like concentrating on delivering words out of my mouth.
Well, sometimes I'm just like looking over here and you're just talking, and I'm like, I hope I can come back into the conversation like I was listening to what you were rambling about.
I mean, it's very much like real life anyway. I just
was
continue
about
to
to
ramble
say.
and eventually you go on, you're like, yeah, man, definitely.
There are some pretty good questions here. Like Spectre says, how do you make your side flip landings facing forward for precision?
Oh, this is a good one. This is a great one. So once you've got your side flip down to where you can do the side flip comfortably.
Well, apparently he's got that, and he lands on his side. He lands sideways. Still.
Sideways, lands 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend is with your throwing arm. So I do a side flip with my right shoulder forwards. If it is your left shoulder forwards, just pretend like I'm talking about your left. So normally, originally you would throw sideways and you would follow with your shoulders in kind of a linear fashion and go over the kind of ridge of your shoulder. So your right arm would go forwards and then you would tuck under. What I would recommend is when you want to do it going forwards, just opening up your chest at the start of the side flip. So imagine you're running forwards, but then you're going to do your side flip at 45 degrees. So you come here and you open up your chest towards the block, and then you do your normal side flip action. But because your rotation is now going on this axis instead of this axis, it's going to then, as you release, have you open up with your chest kind of forwards. The other thing you can do, which is what I originally did before I realized that you could just turn your body entirely and make it like a side front flip, is practice doing side flip off a little bit of height and bringing up the shoulder at the end. So side flip, open, and separating the two motions, side flip. And as you untuck from the side flip, turning and rotating your body into position. So you'll be in a tuck like this. And then when you untuck, you're going to push your legs forwards and open up the chest. So it's kind of almost like two motions.
And that gives you the best of both worlds, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. You can get your normal side flip feeling with the tuck out. The reason I prefer the other one is because I like front prees the most. I think, for me, it makes the most sense when it's coming in like that. If I'm coming in like that or like that, it's a little bit harder for me to get the hip position to stick it. And, for a stick, you want to be on point. You don't want to be like coming in at a weird angle. It's not going to be as advantageous or as consistent.
Damn.
Depthy.
Yeah, that happened. Steel Ankle, whose little avatar is the Red Bull symbol, so listen up. How do you warm up before parkour? Which slides into our next question as well.
Well, I mean, before parkour, I don't really do any before. Like I start by doing parkour straight away, but I do like really light basic movements. So I would do like very small precisions, just a series of vaults flowing over the wall. But again, really standard ones, just like lazies, kongs, step through, just making sure that I've got like each thing in balance as opposed to actually trying to like stretch outside my flexibility range. And then I'll kind of, as I'm walking along walls and stuff, do like a few like rotations and specific things here and there. But I kind of will do those specific rotations. Like if I'm going to do a wall run and I'm not warmed up, I'll do a few shoulder rotations just before I go and do the first wall run, just to make sure that there's a little bit of fluid before I carry, like not fluid, but like motion and blood before I carry my weight. Because if I go into it completely static and then try to like tear, that's when something could happen. But as long as you kind of mobilize the area and make sure it's firing, you don't have to do too much specific, like that standard 10 squat, 10 hops, blah, 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 warm up, Just do your movements, but integrate warming up into them, and don't go too big too quickly. That's something I used to just get to the spot and just hammer. And now I find if I do like 10 minutes of fundamental training to begin with and warming up, I have a much better session in total because I've already checked all the balances of my body.
Yeah, well, this
Yeah.
comes into our next question anyway from Beppe Escrillo,
Yeah, Pepe.
which is how to avoid injuries. Sorry, need to do the hand movement. How to avoid injuries. Do you think it's important to warm up or not? So it's the same question.
But he does open up another can of worms, which
That's
is
why I asked.
preventing injuries. I think is two things. It's one, the obvious, like you said, warming up and making sure your body is working before you try to do anything strenuous. But there's also like a tactic, a way you can train, which may not give you the amplified progress rate, but may actually give you the longevity in your training and also a slow build with more capability and more strength along the way. Like if you were to do more consistent fundamental training at a level where you know it's safe for your body and your body can handle it, and then doing occasional sessions of progression and reach, that's going to give you the best chance at staying uninjured, as you'll have the most awareness, the most practice for when you do want to progress, but also your body is used to and not stressed out by the amount of training that you're doing. So when you do these larger movements, it's got that consistent base to work from. And also, working within range of yourself. So if you are, if you've never done a front pre before, maybe like you've never done a front flip before, don't try a front pre or a front gap. You want to try stuff that you've done before and do it till it's perfect. I think a lot of, especially young free runners, can be quite impatient, where we get a skill and we're like, cool, I've got it. And I'm guilty of this as well. I'm not just saying it's, younger guys coming up, but you do something, you're like, cool, I've got the skill down, and then you just leave it, and then come back 6 months later, you can't do it again because you've only done it on that one day. Whereas if you do, once you get a movement, doing it consistently, if it's not stressful, so that you can lock it off, then you can go for the next variation or go for the next thing from a safer standpoint. If you just rush through and try and do souk one day and then souk full the next day, you're not going to have the fundamental years of experience of what it's like in the air, or what it's like to land at a funny angle, or just those things that you really need for the different
experience
to level up. Yeah, so training rate, methodology, and also intensity are huge when it comes to preventing injury whilst training.
And I will add, don't do static stretches before you jump. If you are... Sorry, this is actually in reply to something in the chat, which is, no, you have to warm up and stretch. And it's like, yeah, but don't do hard static stretches, because then things may go a little bit more
Yeah,
wonky.
so what I want to put to that person as well is you are right. You do have to warm up and you do have to stretch. Those are two things that you do have to do. But before training, as Jaron said, stretching isn't the best idea because you're elongating the muscles and relaxing them and putting them into a state that's probably more likely to get injured when extended in strength.
Because they're loose.
They're loose. They're like, boom.
Loosey-goosey.
And also, what I was saying before is not that I don't warm up in the sense of I do definitely warm up my body. I just don't do it in the linear fashion that a lot of people consider warming up to be, which is like, you have to do a step-by-step process and breakdown of each singular motion and warm your body up. I don't think that's entirely functional. There's certain ones, as I said, that I do on the fly, wrist mobility, shoulder mobility, opening my hips, that sort of thing. But I won't sit there and do like a 20-minute warm-up period, like in the classical workout format. I will just be moving around, making sure that everything works, but still having, a little bit of jump, a little bit of fun with it, and improvising what's kind of happening there as a warm-up.
I think you also have to mention then that as soon as you finish training, it's game on for stretching, and that you actually need that.
Well, the second I stop, especially because now I tend to run out of steam a little bit quicker than the younger guys. I'll just stop and start stretching at the session until everybody's finished. Like, I'll just be standing around at spots working on the rehab side of things, because that's the only time I'm going to get specific to it to get ahead of the curve. Like, once I'm home, you know, you've only got a certain amount of hours before you got to go to bed. So if you're out there and you're not training, getting into your stretching straight away is a nice way to still be out in the sunshine, still be doing something constructive for your body, whilst not loading it any further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this was the interesting question. From Beppe again. So I need to do the hand movement. One question for Dom Tomato. So, ... do you use steroids or something like this?
Yeah, steroids, methamphetamines, blood doping. We're working on cybernetics at the moment. So
No, don't
reconstruct
talk
my
about
entire
that, because
right
that's the
leg.
next question.
Yeah, geez, they're all over it today. No, I don't believe in taking any performing enhancing supplements. I don't even take like protein powders or pre-workout mix. My workout consists of water and Red Bull, and then I try to eat like healthy, for me, meat-based meals in the evening. So lots of carbs, lots of meat. That kind of sustains me.
And let's go a little bit deeper. The problem with using steroids, especially for things like parkour, is that your actual muscle will get bigger and stronger with being able to generate more force than your tendons attached to the bone can manage. So you find that a lot of power lifters will pull their tendons off their bone.
So because I have like wildly strong tendons and ligaments, you're saying I should do steroids?
You should do steroids then.
Bro, I'd be sick at steroids. I reckon steroids and I would get along fucking mad.
Yeah, I think.
Can you imagine like me just going like looking out at the rock or something?
Oh, dude, that would be really funny.
My chin's like triple thickness because of all the roids.
I wonder if it would slow you down at all, or you'd just be able to do like the biggest front flips ever.
It depends. Yeah. I have no idea, and I probably won't be experimenting. So
Yes.
it's good to theorize, though. Like, I mean, there's no like, this is like, obviously personally I'm not interested in taking steroids or anything, but I'm like, if someone in parkour was, I don't think I would judge them. Like, you're just trying to be the best version of yourself, and if you want to do that via enhancement, like, I guess power to you.
I want to see that though.
Well, I mean, Kira Kilosnikov, essentially we have seen that.
I don't know who that is.
If you go on Instagram and type in the Kira life, I heard rumors that at one point when he was progressing heaps and becoming like this massive nugget.
Is it Kira?
Kirya.
Okay.
I heard that he was on the juice. I think he's private now. No, he's not. But yeah, he went from being like a pretty beefy guy to like this absolute like oversized tank, and then people were saying stuff like, yeah, he was on the roids.
Right.
But I don't know whether to believe things. I never really buy too far in unless I hear him say it. I don't, you know.
Do you know there's one reason why I would suggest that he's not on roids? What?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think he would be anymore regardless, because he really stopped that push.
Well,
that
he's
crazy
just not
push.
super into taking his shirt off. Guys that do rides like constantly are like, check it out. Check out all my things.
And back in the day, he was more so before. So what's kind of changed with Kira is that he very much wanted to become like that influencer hybrid of, you know.
You mean like that?
Yeah, he wanted to be, you know, that hybrid influencer athlete where, you know, he does also make entertainment videos with his physicality, similar to Pasha, but he's done it in his own much more kind of modernized way, I would say, in the sense that a lot of his reaction videos that he does are actually done with other influencers.
Interesting.
And like he'll do like influencer meetups, and then they will do those creative videos, as far as I can tell. You know, there is occasional randomization to it, but I think a lot of it is actually more staged than it is real. Like, you know, all the like, you know, a lot of the time it's just his girlfriend who's doing the other acting in the skit. You know, like the girl who's pretending to be part of that couple there is also his actual girlfriend.
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, it's like, you know what I mean. It's a marketed thing. I have no, like, you know, again, I have no problem with it. It's just not my flavor of things. I'm more interested in the athletic side of things than I am the
there's
entertainment.
a lot of this entertainment, which is cool. There's like some of it's very aesthetic. Like
To me, I think he does it particularly well as
Yeah.
well. You know what I mean? Like he's quite good at it, and he's dialed in his style of it to make it his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Chris Ilbaco.
Hey,
He
my guy.
said sending love and
You know what?
what?
Chris, where the hell is the breach video? You said thank you for your patience, but I haven't been exuding patience. I've actually been very impatient, and I want to see the breach video.
Yep.
Yep, that's my reply. My retort. Where's my breach video? Do we have much more guest questions?
There's a what was your worst injury? That comes up every week. So
Yeah, we know
boom.
that one. I fractured my foot. That was the most annoying one.
What on Jaws?
Right now, it's this. This is the worst injury that I currently sustain.
Dude, that must be the most annoying injury right now.
Oh, to be fair, actually, it's rivaled by it's a close close second is my pelvis. I think is out of, so I think one of my hips is raised, and so it's like pulling on my groin and my butt and my knee when I train. It's so annoying. I have to go see a physio.
Yeah.
I have to break my 6-month non-physio cusp and go and get it fixed. I can probably go to Mum. She might fix it too. She knows a technique especially for hip displacement.
Oh, good. Well, you need that then.
Yeah.
Samuel Fail says, "Hi Dom, I had fun on the weekend. I see that you've been."
Sam is a killer young guy from Sydney. He's I think 11 or 12, or even younger maybe. Is Sam 9? I don't know. I'm not sure how old you are, Sam, but Sam is sick, and he's also the first head of production Patreon on the Patreon page. So big thank you to you, Sam, specifically at Parkour Spider Sam on Instagram. You should definitely check him out if you want to see like young dudes killing the game.
Do we
He's
go
got
to
like
Instagram now?
huge jump. Do it. Why not? You know what I mean? Let's give him a little shout out.
Boom. Where am I going?
Boom. Parkour Spider Sam, one word. God, you type so fast, Jared. It's so impressive. How do you do it? So, let's watch that trampoline one in the middle because that impressed me a lot. I say punch front. Spots the other tramp.
No, what?
Front half out. Well, side Barani thing out, but it's sick. Perfect. Boom.
Yeah, just the fact that you linked that.
Yeah. Like his capacity and understanding of movement is really high, and his mum Lisa is like the best mum. Like couldn't ask for a cooler mum.
Like, super supportive.
Super supportive. Brings him to all the jams. You know, pushes him, films him, but like not in a overbearing way at all. She very much lets him be his own little man. But just the access that is given there. By a mother for her child, and it's just super sick to see.
Mm-hmm. Repping Olos.
Yep. Yeah, he's got all the gear. He's like dialed up in Farang. He's dialed up in novel ways.
Escape, yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a fully committed athlete, and you know, part of the culture as well. Not just doing the moves or attending classes or anything. He's fully like part of the community.
That's
so
really
I had
cool.
him at the Red Bull Under My Wings project, which hopefully we'll be able to get the video from soon. Just, you know, little held up over the new year with everything. And
nice.
boom. And I think, yeah, he's probably like the one of the youngest athletes in Sydney as well, that we have, who's, you know, part of the regular scene, regular training. So shout out Sammy, big thanks. And yeah, if you guys here go and check him out on Instagram, you should do that.
Yeah, right. All right. Question from Austin McKenna. question colon thing. Have you ever done a front 180 into a backflip? Whoa, question for you.
So I have done that off a cliff and off a trampoline. I have never done it off a ledge onto flat ground. I think the variation that I would do before front half in back out would actually be a twist in back out, just because I can get, or Barani in back out, just because I can get the position for the snap better into the tuck. Yeah,
There you go.
Is that?
There's the questions. Do you think you'll be able to do parkour when you're older?
Yeah, I believe I'll be able to do it till I'm 80 at least. I think I'll be able to do it forever, but I might be delusional, so don't listen to me.
Yep. Well, that's just you in a nutshell. Spectre again. Why do you prefer the Vans Ultra Range Rapid Weld shoes? This could be an advertisement for Vans right now.
I put them on and I was like, wow, they have so much padding. And the original make had a very lightweight model, so I think it was like 0.5 kilograms, like 500 grams or something like that. Really, really light shoe. And so essentially for me, what I'm looking for is a dense piece of rubber on the bottom that has a bit of cushion, so that when I take impact badly, I have like a margin of error. And then I want as little amount on top of my foot. So they have a very low cut ankle. They're like super low cut sneakers. So that way I can just like tie them up loosely. And with my fat ankles, I'm doing all of the work and all the stabilization myself instead of letting the shoe do it for me. I did like try the LaFleur shoes. Also I can say that I was working on Ultimate Tag because they've released the commercials and I'm in it.
Oh, so
but yeah, I used
start
Jesse's
talking
shoe.
about that.
We'll talk about that next week or in the coming weeks, I reckon. But just to summarize on the shoe thing, I used Jesse LaFleur's LaFleur parkour shoe. And I just found that, yeah, it was quite restrictive for me personally. I want to have that range of motion myself. I don't want a false support or even like a shoe restricting the amount of support that my ankle's doing itself.
Yep.
So that's why I like the Vans. And they've upgraded their model a little bit, and it does weigh slightly more, but I've found that the cushioning of the sole is actually even better in the upgraded design.
I also found that the sole got upgraded, I think. Yeah.
The actual shoe sole that's inside the shoe, you mean? Yeah. The other one I would eventually go through and like kind of start to wear away, almost erode. Yeah. And with the other ones, it kind of compresses more. It doesn't actually rub off.
Yep. I'm a fan. I definitely haven't rolled my ankle in Vans, where I definitely did roll my ankles in Olos a lot. A lot.
Interesting. Yeah, it's
maybe that says more about. It says more about my ankles,
or your your foot shape and size. So, I think this is what you're going to find, and that's why I don't definitely recommend any shoe directly to someone personally. I'd say try it out, and why I recommend the Vans is because of those preferences. But try shoes that fit to your foot and that are comfortable for you. You just go through like a bunch of different pairs and you will find out what the most applicable for you is.
Yeah. Like some people really like Tigers because they don't have much padding at all.
Yeah, and you can really feel where your foot is on the wall and all those sort of things, and get really nice touch. And it has a one piece sole that doesn't have any spacing, so people like to kind of wear through that one. But it's it's your own taste. Vans. I never used to buy shoes. I would just get shoes given to me out of the garbage, or not given to me. I'd find them in the trash when we worked together.
Oh, I used to do that too. That was good.
And I got a lot of Nike free runs that way, and that seemed to be my preference there. But as soon as I started paying for my own shoes, it was the Vans was the one that I ended up buying.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you got them?
No.
It was in Amsterdam with Alpha Green. Because I'm like...
Oh, because he was wearing them.
He was wearing them, and I'm like, I'm going to go buy them. Yeah. And so then we went to the store, and they were like, I want some of those too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you went and did some big front flips.
I was like, these are sick. They take so much force out of my feet. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We got about 3 questions. Left. All right. What are some advanced Webster front flip tips? I don't know how.
I don't know about advanced, but I would like to say a good note that I always say is pretend like somebody's giving you a wedgie. So you want to like pretend like you're being pulled up by your underwear really uncomfortably up your bum crack so that you have to like pull, you have to jump with it to stop the wedgie.
That's kind of
So
how Webster looks.
yeah, yeah. Because like you give your chest the false height, but then you actually have to give it a really good bum lift, like a hit with the back of you. Like there's two hip bones on your back. One of mine has a big swelling point on it, like, you know, so you might have seen. But those two hip bones are the ones you want to pretend are like on strings and just being pulled up into the air, directly straight up. Everything else goes around and forwards, but your hips and your pelvis should just go straight up in the air.
Get it up there.
Yeah. Show your pooper to the Lord.
Right. Best hardest trick you've ever done on a trampoline?
Triple backflip or full in, full out? No, full in, back out.
What was bookier?
Triple backflip took me way longer.
Yeah.
Because like, so I could do full to my back, and then so I just did lots of bounce and then did full twist and then hold the tuck. Whereas triple back, I had to be able to do double back comfortably. Then I had to be able to do double back open, land on my back, and then I went for the triple. But that took like, you know, probably like 3 to 5 months of progress on the tramp.
How do you progress backflips? And this is just my question, because let's say that one of my revolutions is to actually progress, get a double on tramp.
Okay,
Like,
for me the process is simple. I do standing backflip, over rotate, land on my back.
Yeah.
And if I can do standing backflip, over rotate, land on my back, then with you know a huge bounce, you'll be able to make it around comfortably. So you want to practice backflip, open, land on your back, and you do that with the bounce first. So
well,
keep
I've got
bouncing.
that like dialed, but it's
But then do it standing. Then do it standing on the trampoline.
Yeah.
So
right.
once you've got it dialed, then take it to standing. So you're literally no bounce, just standing back. The tramp will whip you automatically, so you will get a false lift, and then you just have to do the spot quick tuck, and you'll feel like your bum coming down as you do the back. And so when it gets real tight like that, then you just go up and you do like, it's just a confidence switch. From there, if you can do a backflip and land on your back from standing, you can definitely do a double backflip, because it's the mechanics are simple. It's up.
Yeah, you've got the pop.
Forwards, 1, 2. You've got the tuck as well, because the tuck, to get back around to your back, you know how to rotate more than once.
Yeah, right.
So then from there, it's just so because I'm pretty confident bouncing really high on the trampoline, and I'm pretty confident chucking the rotation. So just take the mechanics out of that and then put those two confident factors in. Okay, I've got everything I need. Now I'm just going to jump high and tuck hard.
and so that's why you get the that's how you got the triple.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but with double.
Yeah.
So I got my double backflip to standing on the trampoline, and then I could do like a very, very, very light bounce, double backflip to my back. And then I did double backflip, open, like double backflip with a bit more bounce, and actually open and then land on my back. And I was like, okay, if I have enough time to open and land on my back, I have enough time to hold another tug at least to my face. Logic. It's all logic stuff.
All right. By the way, Chris Hilbacker, who I thought was leaving, but was not, but he says that Breach tour video is coming out. We just want to make sure that it's really good and it's all right. We want to bring the value.
Yeah, true. But I know it's going to be really good, and it's going to be great because you guys are behind it. So that's how I already have faith. It's going to be amazing.
All right. Rapid fire questions, and then let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
All right. Can you do a Kobe?
Cody, yeah. Or a Kobe Bryant? No, I can't crash a helicopter. Is that sensitive? No, he didn't crash a helicopter. I can't fatally lose my life in a helicopter crash. That one.
Oh, no, wait. That's all the questions.
Hey!
Oh, yeah. What?
That was pretty rapid fire, dude.
Yeah.
All right, well, just to summarize for those people, this is the final live stream podcast on YouTube. We'll be uploading these after they've been live streamed on Patreon. Check out my Patreon page, Patreon.com/Dom Tomato. You can't mess it up. You know what the brand is. You're already here. Appreciate your support. Jaron, is that all from you, sir?
We are gonna start putting the links in, so then we can guide you to the
So you
places.
can actually get the music from the vlogs. That's it.
And all that
is
kind of
you
stuff.
can get that access. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All
And
right,
we'll see
thank you
later on.
See ya.